guys, this is Stormouse03, and this is my Witcher 2 Assassins of Kings Dark Difficulty walkthrough. Alrighty folks, we are closing in on the end of this game. So we're going to be going down to rescue Philippa Eilhart from where she's being held by the nefarious Nilfgaardians. So this is the same sewers where we came earlier to get the Vran armor diagram and all that good stuff. So this is the same location. And gonna be the same enemies. There are gonna be a lot of these rot fiends down here. And, you know, same drill. As always. They usually are in groups of like 2 to 4. So, shouldn't be anything out of your ability level here at this point. As I said, we're coming toward the end of this chapter, and so at this point you should probably be close to level 35, closing in on that. So I'm just sitting here waiting for my vigors to recharge for a second, and we move ahead. And this guy you can sometimes kill through the grates. I did that before and then was unsuccessful, if I can speak English, at picking up the loot off of his corpse. So, in any case, it's pretty linear through here. I mean, the whole game is fairly linear, so it's never really all that confusing as to where you're supposed to be going, which is good. That is one thing that I dislike in games sometimes, is that, you know, sometimes you just want to move on with things, and when games try to do that thing where it's like, well, half the fun is just exploring and figuring out where the next thing is, that's not half the fun for me, that's half the annoyance. So, I just want to know where I'm going, what am I supposed to be doing, and just give me that. So, yeah, you shouldn't have any trouble moving around through this sewer section, which is good. These rot fiends are cheap, though. Like, look at them. They just wait for you. And it's like, let me through, guys. Let me through. And also, standing on air there, that one was. He's the Jesus rot fiend, apparently. Although, I guess Jesus walked on water, not on air. Whatever. Anyway. So yeah, they kind of tend to cluster when you're trying to get up and down on and off of these areas, and that can be kind of irritating because as you saw, it's like almost a required hit that you're gonna take if they end up blocking your path that way. So that door is actually locked. You can't go into it. I believe it opens as part of this quest, depending on what you do. But in any case, that was a cutscene, a pretty long and gruesome cutscene, having to do with Philippa and her turdy King Radovid, I think his name is. I don't like him very much at all. Very full of himself. And vengeful and spiteful, as are many of the characters in this game. So, once you deal with these guys, you can not do what I'm doing, which is go down here and see if this door opened up, which it didn't. Always looking for, you know, the opportunity to get a little bit more stuff. And so when you go through, there's a a gate back there, and the ambassador, Shillard Fitzaustine? What's his name? Yeah. Ambassador Shillard Fitzaustine. It's quite the mouthful. And so he's barricaded himself behind this guard. You don't actually have to kill the guard. I don't think you can because it's part of a cutscene. So Geralt will automatically, kill him, knock him out. And then you have a choice to make. You're going to talk to Philippa, who has been mutilated a little bit. A lot bit, actually. Losing your eyes is not something that I wish on someone, even if they are kind of horrible. So you can either help her get out and get this dagger to help free Saskia from her little love curse, or you can choose to go and rescue Triss. And so I'm going to be choosing to help Philippa here because I wanted to show you the achievement that's tied to that. And I kind of enjoy both sides, actually. To me, it feels more like Geralt to go after Triss, but probably has something to do with the way that I play Geralt, so it's, I think, equally in character for him to put the needs of the needs of the many above his own. So helping her and freeing Saskia and whatnot seems like something that he would do as well, which is cool. I mean, they make the character Geralt is separate from the player, right? And thanks, Iorveth. And so he has characterization, but it also gives you the freedom to make these choices that all seem equally viable and in character for him, which is cool. I mean, and I think that is a testament to the writing of the series. So you had to lead Philippa a little ways, but now Iorveth is going to take over so that you can deal with some of these monsters that are going to spawn. It's going to be quite a few of these rot fiends, and they're kind of irritating to deal with too. They're fast-moving enemies, and even though you're powerful, they can certainly, get one over on you if you aren't careful. So I'm gonna give in and use my heliotrope instead of saving it for some unknown reason. And just be careful with these guys, just like the gargoyles. They'll, be dead and exploding, and it's sometimes hard to tell when you have this sign on, so just be aware of that and be careful to move out of the way of any potential exploding toxins.
What guarantee do I have that you'll set me free?
None. If your dagger fails to work, or Saskia perishes from the blow, you'll be next.
And so I think there's one more section of monsters that you have to kill. Yep, right here. And unfortunately, I guess since she's blind and he's having to, keep an eye on her so that she doesn't fly away or something. Can you imagine? She turns back into an owl and she's like flying into walls because she can't see. That would be kind of evil. Anyway, he can't help you either, so it's all you here with these, glorious rot fiends.
Slow down. I can't keep up this pace.
The sooner you give us the dagger, the sooner.
I'm not quite sure why getting her eyes ripped out makes her unable to walk or something. Like, I can't keep up this pace of walking really slowly through a short sewer section. Really? I mean, I guess she's lost some blood, but come on now.
Now,
A little bit of poor me syndrome happening right there. As I say that to the person who's had their eyes ripped out, it seems a little unfair. But anyway, we're going to head on into her quarters, and there's going to be some gargoyles guarding it. So you want to dispatch with them as quickly as you can. And if you didn't quite get enough gargoyle dust, here is a place where you can get some. It's possible that these, I think there's 3 of them total. We killed one already, and now there's these 2. So there's the potential for 3 gargoyle dusts from these guys. And there's actually another thing that we've been waiting to get from this part. So, I mean, in theory, if you wanted to make the dark armor and weapons set for this chapter, you could have gone ahead and done this section a little bit earlier, because, I mean, it does lead toward the end game, but I think it doesn't lock you in to the end game, so you could still go and do some of those side quests afterward. There just weren't too many, and they weren't too much fighting, too difficult, so I decided to go ahead and do the side quests first, and then do this main stuff sort of all at once. But I think you could come and do this first if you wanted to go ahead and get that armor. So, leveled up. Gonna upgrade the swordsmanship again to do some more damage with my swords. And then we're gonna loot this place, and the thing that we really want is the dragon scale. And it should be in some of these stuff in her room. You also want to pick up that thing of her notes, because that's going to be important. There are the scales, along with some loot. Or I guess it's just a scale, although it says dragon scales ×1. I guess it's one set of them. Who knows? But that's what you need in order to complete the armor and weapon set. So you just want to make sure that you grab that out of the chest, grab her notes off the table, and then we're going to head upstairs and do the thing. So you'll have a little cutscene with her, and then we're going to look at these notes. And so it has some arrangements of like what order you should light these candles in. And I think I can't remember, or if there's any real way to tell which one of these 3 is correct. I tried the last one first, and it was not that. And it actually ends up being the first arrangement, I think, that's listed here. So you'll notice that I've lost some health, and that's because like I said, chose the wrong order to begin with. And again, I'm not sure if there's any real way to tell which order it's supposed to be in. It might be random, and it's like, well, it's one of these 3, so choose. And it just so happened that it was the first one. I think that they may be in random order. But that was the correct arrangement. It's just sort of starting at the bottom left and then moving clockwise around and then the middle. And if you do mess it up, you lose about half your health. So having kin on would have probably been a good idea. And then I leveled up from doing this. So there's my achievement for reaching level 35 Guru. And we don't really have time to enjoy it because you have to fight this golem. And so you want to deal with him the same way that you dealt with the golems before. You want to dodge their attacks and also dodge these flaming balls of nonsense and hit them from behind if possible. But you should be, it shouldn't take too many hits at this point. You should be leveled and have powerful enough armor and weapons. And once you defeat him, you can grab the dagger from the chest. That's what we came for. And now we can level up for the last time. So I'm going to put my last point into position again to, again, cut the damage that you take when you're hit from behind. And that is, again, a strategic move for the last boss. So there's Spellbreaker. You get that for completing this quest. And that is all she wrote, folks. The next thing to do is the end game. But before we go there, gonna be getting our final dark armor and weapons set. So at this point you should have plenty of money and resources. The Brass guy sells silver ore if you need it, and he also sells the diagrams that we need, so we're going to buy those from him. You can go to Felicia Corey. She will sometimes sell studded and or hardened leather, but she usually has a cache of oil as well, and the Incredible Lockhart also sells oil. And so if you need those items to craft the hardened and studded leather and the robust cloth, you can buy them from those two merchants. And as I said, you should have more than enough to be able to craft all of the stuff that you need, and you should have collected enough items. And so that is it, the Kinslayer's outfit. So the crafting materials that you need to be able to make this set of armor consist of the 1 dragon scale that we found in Philippa's house, 2 blue meteorite ore, 4 elemental stones, 2 essence of deaths, 9 gargoyle dust, 28 hardened leather, 8 harpy feathers, 2 harpy salivas, 18 iron ores, 4 leather, 26 robust cloth, 14 silver ore, 8 studded leather, 4 timber, 1 troll tongue, and 12 twine. So you should have picked up all of this stuff throughout the course of the playthrough. If for whatever reason you don't have any of it, you can check with the merchants that are around the area. I know you can buy a troll tongue from one of them. I think it's Felicia Corey, although I'm not 100% sure of that. But you should have gotten at least one of those if you followed along with what we were doing from the troll in the last chapter that we killed. Everything else should have been picked up during this chapter or over the course of the chapters that you saved, like, you know, your ores and things like that. And so that's what you need. So we're gonna equip that. I'm just gonna show you guys just a little comparison of each of the pieces of armor before you equip them. You can defeat this boss without this armor. I've done it before on this difficulty, so it's definitely possible for you to do. This isn't a requirement of the playthrough that you have to, you know, get this armor and weapon set, but it's certainly helpful, you know. Any little edge that you can get is good, because the final boss, or potentially the 2 final bosses, they hit really hard. And so any boost to your defense, any boost to your damage that you do to them is going to be beneficial to you. And so since this is a guide and I'm supposed to be telling you guys the easiest way to defeat this difficulty, I think this is the easiest way, is to have these weapons and this armor. So That is sort of what we've been doing the whole time. It's what we've been going for in each chapter, is to be able to upgrade. And you've seen that it's more than doable, you know, and I really didn't do any grinding. I did kill the harpies in the quarry a couple of times as I was going through there, but I didn't really, you know, go and grind for money or anything like that. And so you'll see that just by doing the side quests and doing a little bit of looting and selling off stuff that you don't need, it's more than doable to have all of the armor and weapons that you need in order to get through the game, and it's more than doable to level up to max rank as well. So now all you want to do is, you know, drop off the stuff that you don't need. You can sell it if you want. It doesn't really make any difference at this point. This is end of the game. And one thing that I do want to make note of is if you have any, you know, potions or armor enhancements, sword enhancements, any of these things like the oils and the potions and stuff, you can go ahead and take them out, because I am going to actually be using a couple of those for the final boss, just to give myself a little bit of boost to my damage output. And so if you've got them, you might as well use them. You know, I'm not going to go out of my way to buy anything else because I don't think it's necessary. You can if you want to. If they, you know, the store owners sell better things and you have some money left over. I mean, I've got over 2,000 orens right now, and I have a bunch of stuff that I could potentially sell to, you know, make more. So if there are better runes, if there are better armor enhancements and things, you know, feel free to go buy them if you feel like you want that little extra edge. So I will see you guys in the next video where we take on the final boss and wrap up this difficulty. So I'll see you there, guys, and as always, thanks for watching.